Good morning, Ms. Hall.
Good morning.
Ma'am, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Oh, you're also charged with evading arrest in a motor vehicle.
Whoa, evading arrest and unlawful weapon possession. Not the kind of combo meal you want to order in Texas. Let's break this down. Driving away from police is a felony-level charge in many states, and paired with a firearm, that's a fast lane to a revoked license. Or worse, what would you do if you saw a car blowing through red lights at 100 miles per hour?
We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am. Okay.
On March 19, 2025, an officer observed a vehicle on Northwest Freeway in Harris County, Texas. The defendant was stopped at a red light when the officer was stopped at a red light when the officer's traffic signal changed to green. The officer began to go through the intersection and observed a vehicle at a high rate of speed disregard a solid red light. A traffic stop was initiated. The defendant refused to stop and continued to accelerate from units to actively evade and lose units. The defendant ran a red light and made a left turn, then traveled the wrong way through a U-turn, then continued down the street at a high rate of speed. The officers continued to pursue the defendant with emergency equipment activated at speeds over 100 miles per hour. The defendant continued to accelerate through multiple red lights.
A loaded handgun in the glove box while driving like a Fast and Furious audition. Yikes. Here's where it gets real. Possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime can enhance sentencing. Judges often see this as a major public safety risk, which is why
Turned her headlights off and drove in circles under the highway and drove the wrong way on the service road while attempting to evade from the officers. The pursuit came to an end when the defendant turned onto a dead-end road. The defendant tried to...
It's not just a warning, that's courtroom fire. The judge is crystal clear. You drive like that again, you're going to jail. Period. Judges have discretion to set bond conditions like this, especially when the behavior endangered lives. Audience poll: should reckless drivers lose their licenses after the first offense, or does everyone deserve a second chance?
Go around the officer's vehicle and struck the front end of the patrol vehicle. The defendant evaded for approximately 5 to 4 miles. A loaded handgun was found in the glove box of her vehicle.
Ms. Hall, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run her license, see if she has a license, please?
Yes, Judge.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive maniacally again. If I find that you drive like this, I'm going to put you in jail the first thing, and then I will take your ability to drive away from you permanently while this case is open. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I am ordering you not to be in possession of any weapons.
Her driver's license is eligible with her.
Okay. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am?
I have a court appointment already. I met with her Monday when I came to court.
So let's recap. Undercover sting, direct solicitation, and an admission of intent all caught. In less than 60 seconds, these proactive operations are controversial. Some argue they're essential to curb street-level crime, while others believe they trap vulnerable individuals. What's your take? Entrapment or enforcement?
That may be in your felony case, but just because you have one in a felony case doesn't mean that you have one here.
Okay, may I apply for one?
Okay, I'll give you, Deputy Miranda will give you an application. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria Webb. Take a seat in the jury box while we generate your bond conditions. Do not leave until you sign them, then.
Yes, sir.
Please. So no driving without a valid license and liability insurance, and then no weapons. Good morning, Ms. Perez. Ma'am, you're charged with prostitution. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
An officer, as part of a proactive prostitution investigation, was driving around the 32nd 100th block of Tidwell Road. The officer rolled down his window near the defendant, and the defendant approached. The defendant offered and agreed to engage in deviant sexual conduct in the form of performing oral sex for a fee of $100.
Okay. Ms. Perez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you not to engage in like behavior. Otherwise, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. You understand, ma'am? Do you need a lawyer? Can we provide you a lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay, I need you to fill out an application. Deputy Etchigoin is going to give you an application. I need you to fill it out for me. I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we find you someone. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Okay.
All right, Judge, next is page
Aye, aye,
23.
aye.
Walker, come on up.
You're Mr. Walker. Sir, Detrick Walker.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and/or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you can afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
All right. On Wednesday, March 19th, 2025, officers were dispatched to a call for service at 10219 Rollston Lane in Harris County, Texas, regarding disturbance. Upon the arrival, the officer spoke to the complainant.
That right there, that's a Texas judge making a promise. Protective order violations are taken seriously, not just as a contempt of court, but as a new charge altogether. It's not about the initial fight anymore. It's about protecting future harm. If you were the judge here, how high would you set this guy's bond?
The complainant and the defendant have been roommates since January of this year, and the complainant stated that her boyfriend, the defendant's brother, were arguing about his friend being in their house as they were in the bedroom. All of a sudden, the defendant walked into her room and started talking about rent money. The complainant stated that the defendant started getting in her face, but she was backed away because she was afraid that the defendant would hit her. The defendant ended up grabbing the right side of her jeans and pulling her off the bed and dropped her to the ground, causing pain on her back.